over Lanphier, and last time out the Railers 36, Highland 30. So both teams coming in with similar records, and although that the Southeast beat Lincoln at Lincoln, it was a very good game, very closely contested game, and a very offensive game, something you don't see a lot from the Railers. The Railers got to play a little bit better defense and get on the shooters. 12 3-point makes by the Spartans last time out at Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium, so you like to think, or hopefully you don't think they can shoot just as well on their home court.
Railers win the opening tip. We'll get to the starting lineup in just a moment. Railers have the ball moving right to left here at Scheffler Gymnasium. Max Cook controlling top of the key, gets it over to Jordan Gesner. Gesner fires an early three. It's off the back of the rim. No good. Van Hook was in there trying to get the rebound. Looked like there could have been over and back. Gesner dumps it over to Cook, who lays it up and in.
Yeah, great pass. Christian kept the rebound alive, and I thought it was he got it over the back, but kept it alive. Max Gesner wound up with it. Found a great pass to cutting Max Cook for an easy two.
Railers with an early basket. Gesner, Kirby, Block, Van Hook, and Cook. Starting lineup for Coach Neil Alexander. There's Senor on the right side. They did a nice job covering up on him, and he's called for steps. So, Josh, early on, we see very quickly, Senor looked like he had an opening, but the Railers closed out on him very well, forcing the turnover.
Well, they better. 4 threes last time in the first half against the Railers at Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium. So we saw enough of those the first meeting.
So after the Southeast turnover, Max Cook picked up his dribble near the timeline, and the Railers have to call an early timeout, not even a minute into the contest. A 30-second timeout taken by the Railers. And, Josh, we know that Coach Alexander certainly does not like to use his timeouts very much in the first half, especially not even 52 seconds into the game.
Well, they're run and jump, and when Max was bringing the ball up, one of the guys that were guarding one of our guys went off of him to double Max, and he unfortunately got caught right at the timeline in the trap. And nobody really came and helped him. When your guy leaves, you're the one that has to go help the ball handler. And even if you have to get 5 feet from him, you got to get 5 feet from him to get the ball out of his hands.
So after the Railers take their first timeout, Cook working against Jagger Anderson. Max down the lane, dumps it over to Gesner. Back on top to Block. Gavin hands back to Gesner. Top of the key to Kirby, swinging around left side to Van Hook. Christian looking for a teammate between the circles. There's Cook. He's being watched by Gardner. Kick it over to Gesner on the right wing. Thought about the three. Pulls it back down to Austin. Kirby will drive. Hand back to Gavin. Van Hook down in the left corner to Gesner. Van Hook looks to make a move. Rises up for a three. Misses it badly. And then a reach-in foul is going to be whistled on the Railers. And I think they're going to get that one on the freshman Gavin Block for his first. And that'll be the first on the team.
Yeah, just a reach-in foul. It looked like Christian got hit going up for that shot, but it was a tough shot. The guy was on him, and he took really just one dribble. Very good defense for the first possession for Southeast. They locked down on us pretty good.
So Gardner, Senor out there also, Chris Davis. Davion Strong, who gets it, throws it off the glass. That's no good, but Gavin's probably going to be heading to the bench very soon because Gavin goes in and fouls Strong. And a minute and a half into the contest, Gavin's picked up his second. You got to think this early. Coach has got to look to get him off.
Well, I think as he grows and as he gets older too, he'll understand that we need him on the court, and he'll let that go. He gets a cheap foul on the other end, and he can't get another one. So when he gets older and realizes that we need him on the court more, he can't get that foul. He's got to let him get it. It's 2 points. It's 6:25 left in the first quarter. You don't give him that foul. You just give him the layup and move back.
And, of course, the person operating the scorer's bench here, Strong had the ball at the free throw line, and they tried to buzz in Matt Hayes, who's going to be replacing Gavin as the second one does go down. So it's now 2-1, Railers with the advantage. So I guess it's a slow start for the scorer's bench as well. So Matt Hayes into the contest. So we're going to need some big minutes with Hayes here tonight, with Gavin going to the bench early with a couple of fouls. Max has picked up his dribble again into the double team. Flips it down to Christian. I guess that's one thing the coaching staff is going to probably talk to Max about, as Gesner falls down, keeps his dribble alive, is Max, and the ball is loose. Christian still picking up, still fumbling. Now over to Kirby in the corner.
Yeah,
is Max picking his dribble up too early?
Very active Southeast so far.
Gesner's three is no good. Rebounded by Strong. Quickly into the front court is Senor. Down the lane, little floater from 12 feet. That's no good. Ball loose on the floor. Gesner picks it up. Gesner goes down, and a foul is going to be whistled on Senor. That'll be the first foul on the Spartans.
Yeah, kind of a sloppy game to start. Nobody with a real flow, but both defenses doing a pretty good job, especially Southeast. They're all over us, and if the Railers don't get down in three-point stance and find a way to get a move and go to the basket, they're just going to extend their pressure out on us.
So Hayes looking to inbound. Still looking, not much movement by the Railers. Now they get it into Kirby. Kirby back to Max. Max still in the backcourt. Now he's backing around. He's backing up. Going to need some help. And a held ball. The alternating possession is going to send it back to Southeast. And Josh, early on, it seems like the Railers, especially Max, are having a lot of trouble with that Senator pressure.
Well, it looks like Kirby's man is going to double on Max, and Kirby's just floating down the court. He's got to come back and help. He's the guy that's been left alone, and the Railers going to have to get some help inside.
Davis to Strong on the baseline. He tries to go up, and a foul is going to be whistled on the baseline. I think they got that one on Christian. The foul on Van Hook will be his first, third on the team, and certainly hoping that this doesn't happen. But with Gavin out, you certainly can't afford to have Christian pick up his second early.
No, and just kind of a silly foul, just a reach-in foul where Christian, not a foul he's really got to make.
Davis banks it in from about 12 feet. That's up and good, and Southeast takes the lead at 3-2. Cook working against Anderson. Works into the court. Bounce pass, tried to get it to Matt Hayes. Nobody there. And in fact, Coach Lawrence Thomas for Southeast was the closest one to it. So the Spartan pressure has really bothered the Railers early on.
Yeah, they have. They've run and jump, and they've seen it on tape somewhere where this has bothered us, and now it's this is what they're going to do. It looks like right now, at least, until the Railers can figure out how to break it.
4:50 to go in our first quarter. Thank you for joining us here on 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. Southeast with an early 3-2 advantage. They get it to Strong, and he tried to go baseline, and Matt Hayes is going to be whistled for the body as he forced Strong out of bounds. So Matt will pick up his first. And not even halfway through the first quarter, Josh, we're already looking at 4 team fouls.
Yeah, the Railers really not moving their feet, using a lot of hands and a lot of their body instead of moving their feet to get the position where on the other side, Southeast has really done a good job of moving their feet and staying in front.
Southeast with the basketball. Gardner dumps it down to Davis again, little 8-footer. That's no good. Van Hook high for the rebound for the Railers. Max across the timeline. Hayes. Kirby. Hands over to Max. Hayes, top of the key. Dumps it down to Christian. Back out to Austin. Austin will load up a high arcing three. In and out, no good. Hayes tries to fight for the rebound, but Anderson clears for the Spartans. Quickly into the front court. Corner. Senor. Three. Spins out, no good. Davis, as the Railers sit there and watch. Davis grabs the rebound, lays it up and in.
Yeah, you better go rebound with some authority every time against this guy, because he will go up and get it, no matter if you're close or not.
3:50 to go, first quarter. Railers down 5-2, and Josh, that was just the case. The Railers just were all flat-footed and let him go up and grab the board.
Yeah, they just stood and watched, and Christian's got to go up with him. He's about the only guy we got that can go up as high as Davis.
Kirby hands off to Hayes. Matt dribble, had it poked away by Anderson. Hayes tried to get it back, but Strong comes down with it. He'll go up, and Christian blocks it away. Hands over to Davis, who lays it up and in. Davis, he only had 5 against the Railers up in Lincoln. He already has 6, and it's been the dominance of Davis inside and the pressure by Southeast that has the Railers in an early 7-2 hole.
Yeah, it doesn't look good right now, and they're not calling a lot on Southeast as far as hand checking and using the body. So it'll be a long night if the Railers can't control the ball and be strong with it.
Jake Olson in. He replaces Matt Hayes as Kirby had his 3 blocked out of bounds. Austin will inbound in front of the Southeast bench. Jake Olson in at the 3:08 mark. Gesner is going to be called for steps as he lost control of the basketball. Davis again defensively. And right now it just seems that the Southeast is playing at a little higher gear than the Railers.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the Railers got much intensity right now, and that's unfortunately only one game to this weekend, and you've got to be ready to play right out of the gate.
So Southeast looking to build on their 7-2 advantage. They've scored 7 in a row. Senor handling against Olson. They move it around the left side to Anderson. Back out between the circles to Senor. Swinging around quickly. Right side. Anderson's 3. Make that Gardner's 3. That's up and good. It's now 10-2, a 10-0 run for Southeast as we approach the 2:35 mark in the first quarter. Gesner picked up his dribble in the backcourt. Stolen away by Southeast, and a reach-in is going to be whistled on Gesner. another timeout's going to be taken by the Railers. 2:31 to go in our first quarter, just a 30-second timeout. And Josh, we were talking before the game, this was a building where you had a pretty good night. Boy, the way things are going, I'm not sure if we could get to your point total from your career high of 35 here.
Well, I always like this gym. You know, it's a different atmosphere at a high school with the end zones, as you want to call it, with the stands. And for one reason, lighting was good or something I always liked about this gym, and had a couple good nights here. But, yeah, the Railers got to figure out their pressure here. You got to get down and you got to handle the ball. You got to be strong with it, because right now Southeast is by far the more aggressor, especially on the defensive end.
Will Podbelsic has checked in, so the Railers have Podbelsic, Cook, Van Hook, Gesner, and Olson on the floor. Down 8 here in the first quarter. We thank you for joining us on a Friday. Anderson drives in. They tried to dump it down to Strong. Nice defense by Cook coming in and tipping it away. Now the Railers have the advantage. Cook is going to pull up. 17-footer on the way. Good.
Yeah, if we can break the press, we can get good shots. So the Railers, we just got to be stronger with the ball.
So after the Railers force the turnover, they do a good job turning defense into offense. And then the pass, trying to get it to Anderson, is thrown out of bounds right in front of the Railer bench. So now Coach Lawrence Thomas is seeing some momentum swing back the Railers' way.
We've had more timeouts in the first quarter, the first 6 minutes of the game than we've seen in 2 games.
So a timeout taken by Coach Lawrence Thomas. And, he's been around long enough, Josh, to know that he's seen Railer teams start to get momentum because of their defense. They score a basket after a turnover. Now Southeast commits another one. I think he wants to make sure that he gets them settled down before the Railers get a chance to get back into it real quick.
Well, I can't believe that the Railers didn't go over this in practice, the run and jump or some sort of really tough pressure. The problem with in practice with the Railers can't duplicate the speed and the quickness that Southeast can put on you.
So after the turnover and the timeout, Olson brings it into the front court. Jake steps through. They've got the numbers. They bounce it to Christian on the baseline. Hands back to Olson, directing traffic. He's being watched out top by Anderson. Left wing, Podbelsic, check. We heard a slap.
Slap from here.
Podbelsic goes down, 3-on-2. They dump it over to Anderson, blocked by Gesner. Nice job by Jordan coming back. Max quickly down court, 3-on-2. Bounce over to Gesner. Gesner didn't drive to the basket, pulled it back out to Podbelsic. Now they swing it over to Olson, 1:25 left first quarter. Gesner coming around, curls over to Cook. Gesner pulls up 3, left it short, basically an air ball. Southeast with the rebound.
That's bad when we can hear it from here and we get a no call.
Right side to Senor, being watched by Podbelsic. Approaching the 1-minute mark here in our first quarter. Southeast with a 10-4 advantage. Senor's 3, that's no good. And Podbelsic is going to be whistled for the foul as he banged into Senor. And it'll be Senor, the 5'11 junior. He'll go to the line, and he will be shooting 3.
Well, we've seen more guys fouled on threes and illegal picks by the Railers than I think I've ever seen in maybe my lifetime of watching basketball. And I've watched several games before.
Senor missing the first.
It's almost one a game, Jeff. One a game, and that you just can't do that. You can't run into a guy. You got to go straight up, and as you're running at him, you got to be ready to break down and stop and play defense.
Senor misses the first, makes the second. Another philosophy is instead of running right at him, you run at an angle so you kind of go in front of his field of vision.
Not in front of him, not at him. You got to put on the brakes.
So Senor misses 2 of the 3. It's now 11-4. Southeast helping the Railers at the free throw line, only 2 of 5 early on. And then a foul is going to be whistled on Davis. And you may hear some of the Railer Nation, another good turnout from Lincoln. A little derision in the cheering there as they were wondering if a foul was ever going to be called as Davis picks up his first. But, yeah, one thing we've come to expect between Railers and Southeast, it's going to be physical.
Yeah, and the Railer or the refs are either going to call it or they're not. And the Railers got to adapt to it. If they're not, you better be strong, really strong with the ball.
Max on top to Gesner, the Spartan logo. 40 seconds to go. Olson on the left side on top to Cook. Gesner back on top to Olson. Podbelsic working against Gardner. Van Hook with Austin Randolph in the contest. Gesner, a long three, and he drains it.
Yeah, big basket for the Railers. They needed that one. 22 seconds left here in the first quarter as the senior hits a three. Now 11-7, and the Railers need a big stop here.
Into the front court, they dump it to Davis. Down on the baseline, back on top to Anderson. Mishandles with 10. Now over to Gardner. Back to Anderson. Playing catch top of the key, down to 3, down to 2. 3 on the way, didn't go down, and that's going to be the end of our first quarter, and the Railers caught a break because I think Podbelson could have been whistled
again.
Foul there. At the end of 1, it is Southeast 11, Lincoln 7. We'll be back in 60 seconds with the second quarter. You're listening to Lincoln Railer Basketball.